like to be spatted. And it's probably more psychological than anything. In other words, it feels good when you're spatted. I don't like to spat because if they get injured under a spat, it's brutal for me to get the spatting off and then to get the shoe and the sock and to get down to the bare ankle. Okay? I would say this. Spats may decrease injuries to the ankle because what it does is it locks the shoe onto the heel. Make sense? Mm-hmm. And in doing so, if my heel slides and gives a little bit and starts that momentum going, then my ankle may go with it, right? Versus if my heel in my shoe is secure to my ankle, or to the sole of my foot, then it may not give or go, and it might reduce ankle sprains. Okay, I don't know. A lot of the guys that I talk to say they just like it because it just feels secure. It just makes them feel more secure. Most of them say it looks cool. There was a deal in the NFL where they actually, those who had contract endorsements, they would spat over their Nikes, and then the athletic trainer would have to paint in or color in the swoosh.
Phil was telling us that they do that at Montana State.
Oh, really?
Because they have to.
Because they have to.
Because they're a Nike school.
Huh.
Okay. So.
What's that? I'm not a very good artist, though, so they don't want to. I'll tape it. You draw it.
A few things about this. There are as many different ways to spat as there are athletic trainers spatting. So the way you'll see me do it may be very different than how Todd does it. I don't know. I'll show you a couple different variations. One of the what's that?
I don't spat here.
You don't spat here? Okay. One of the things I always start with, and I underwrap because this is for me the easy way to get it off when I underwrap. Some places you go right over it because you don't have the luxury of underwrap. I just start with my underwrap through the arch. And this doesn't look any different than anything else we do. I go right into my heel locks, and then I bring it up and around. And then I go right over the heel, just like that, to close it all in. So you've just covered it up. Some people like it a little bit higher. Other people don't. Actually, I will on you because you don't want me to pluck your hairs out, probably.
I like it high.
Okay. I think the sense on athletes that aren't running backs, they like it up higher just to give it more support. The running backs feel like it limits their motion. I don't know that you saw, but a few years ago, they came out with a Spat zip-on, which is a sleeve that you put over that you zip it up, but it never caught on. I saw it for a while, but not nearly to the volume that you see with spatting. Why?
Does it conform as well?
It conforms beautifully, but it doesn't give you the
tight.
security. That's the big difference. It doesn't feel like it gives you the security. So from there, then I just come up through the arch, and I'll lay 2 to 3 strips on, just like I'm doing my arch support on an ankle tape job. Then I'll come right around and do lace-ups, but they start clear down at the heel. And again, you're not too worried about pretty on this. It's just as best as you can to get it. And I go to the top, trying to work my contour in a lace-up. And then I go right into my heel lock figure 8. Now, here's the big thing. Most of you that haven't worked much football, you're going to go right over the cleat structure is different on different shoes, and you can't put the tape directly over the cleat on the shoe. You have to miss that. So it's pretty easy on this one. I got great angles today. I'm just going to do a double heel lock. And I'm going to go right into a figure 8. So I'm using some of the same concepts of my regular taping that I've done with giving my heel locks and my figure 8s, doing some degree of controlled motion, but I've left all of my cleat out for contact. Sometimes, with different cleat structures, I've seen people that they come right over and they weave it like that. See what I just did? Because it was going to cut right over, they weave it like that. See, ugly angle. Oh, I don't like that. so they weave it.
Weave.
And Jared can probably really appreciate the feel on this. That really lifted and supported the heel, okay? To some degree. I don't know that you noticed that or not. Sometimes it depends on how the shoe, how tight or how loose the shoe is or the footwear is. And sometimes that just kind of gives it that locked up feeling there. So the key is, you know, lock your heel. It's the basis of spatting is heel locks. That's the whole basis. It's to lock the heel and then paint your pretty swish on there. Okay, use your markers to do that. The nice thing about when you underwrap it like this, it comes right off generally pretty easily. Especially after they've been out playing for a couple hours. Don't come up like this because you cut the shoelaces off, which is pretty common to see happen. You just go right along the sole. Usually you can get it.
You ever use
Use a shark if you can get your tips in there.
you ever use like elastic on
I'll
anything?
come to that next.
Gotcha.
They make spatting tape too.
Yeah, we got that at the outlet training thing.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have spatting
And he
tape.
brought
called
some.
Batting tape or it's
It's
called?
Kramer. It's called spatting tape.
Huh.
It's a little bit
it's like
thicker
elastic.
and stretchier.
I've the practice tape that we get here. It's called hockey tape, and it's used for hockey sticks. They use a lot. It's called seamed and spliced, and it's called spatting tape. So, but it's the same tape that we've used with all of our
This
other.
one's completely different.
What's that?
This one's different.
Yeah, it's
wider
made for spatting shoes.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
and usually black.
What's that?
Doesn't it just look like light glass?
It's a little bit different.
If again you've got resources, this is a pretty good way to do a spat. You just start, and the nice thing is it doesn't stick to the shoe, it just sticks to itself. So you come right around in 3 or 4 spirals, go right into that heel lock figure of 8. Do 2 to 3 on each side. I would not use like an elastic tape. Again, this is our Power Flex. Now, one of the things you see, I've got these big triangles here and here. A lot of athletes don't like that. It's the aesthetics part of it. That's where the lock comes up. You see how I just hid that just like that? And then into your spiral. And secure. So, when you think about the principles, it's no different than your taping principles. The concept is just to keep the heel secure, the sole of the foot secured to the heel. And I've seen athletic trainers that have, well, when I worked football here, they would line up to be spatted. I mean, they would line up 10, 15 guys just waiting to get spatted. I don't like to spat. The only time I'd ever spat is game day. And I'd like to spat because it's fun to do, but I don't like it because if they get injured, it's a booger to get off and get to the underlying injury. Okay? So that's spats. Let's talk about a speed wrap. Go ahead and take that off.